Hey there! In this video we're going to be making age structure diagrams. So this website can be found on our class page. It is the age structure diagram data. And so first thing we're going to do when you click on that, it should bring you to this page. And you're going to go to population by 5-year age groups, then 2019, then choose a country, any country. I chose Burma. It's actually called Myanmar now. And there's lots going on, a lot of uprisings there, so I'm interested to see what their population age structure will look like. Click Submit, and your data should look like this. Click on Excel. It's going to bring it up. It's going to give it to you in an Excel sheet, and it's going to be in your downloads, so click on your downloads. And it's weird, they're going to show you your Excel sheet's going to pop up, but this is what it's been doing on my computer. In this far corner, it's been kind of finicky. Here we go. So first thing we're going to do, let's delete everything that we don't need. We don't need columns H, I, J, and K. Goodbye. We also don't need columns A, B, and C. So we just want age. Let's click up here, make these bigger so we see what we're looking at. The population of both sexes combined, the population of the males, and the population of the females. Now what we want to do is we want to create a percentage for the males and for the females. So what are the percentage of males that are going to be 0 to 4? So to do this, I'm going to put my cursor right here over female population. That's going to insert a column to the left. So insert, and here I'm going to put male percentage, and we're going to be using the unit of percentages. So we'll put that in there. Female percentage. Then let's expand this. And so now we're going to be putting the percentages in. So we're going to need to put an equation. I'm going to start that by putting an equal sign. Now a percent we know is a part of a whole. And so we're going to be looking at the number of males that are in the age 0 to 4 over the total, or the whole, which is the population of both sexes. So here, let's put we're just going to click on it to highlight it, divided by the population of both sexes. Make sure at this point you press enter, otherwise it gets confusing. Then, what we need to do is we need to put this we need to format our cells. So go into Format, and we want this information to be shown in a percentage. Let's bring that down to 1 decimal place. Okay. And so now we can see that it is showing us in percentages. Now I wish that it was easy enough that we could just drag this all the way down, but we can't. We have to do each one of these individually, which takes a few minutes. So we're going to click on male population 5 to 9 divided by the total population. And you're going to do that for all of the males, all the way down here. And then for the females, so here's our total population of females 0 to 4. Push equal sign, females divided by the total population. Enter. We need to make that column, into, let's format cells. And we're going to go to percentage. Let's bring that down to 1 decimal place. And you can see here we have 4.2. So let's do this again. Equal sign. Here's our portion of the population that is between the ages, or female population that's between the ages of 5 and 9, divided by the total population of both sexes. Enter. And it's 4.4. So instead of having you guys watch me do all of that, I'm going to show you where I have that all already done. And so here I have the male percentage is done, and I have the female percentages. Now, in order to graph this data, we have to remove the percentages, and then we have to put the males. If you can picture this, if this is our x-axis, we have males on one side and females on the other. That actually probably is backwards. So females on one side, or males on one side, females on the other, because it looks different in the video. So we're going to make this axis, this is going to be 0, and so we're going to put males on this side, and so we need to make that a negative number. So we're going to start a new column. We're going to put male, capitalize that, male, and I'm just going to put percent. And we'll do female, and we're going to just do percent. And what we're going to do here is pretty easy. Once again, there's no quick shortcut. I wish there was. But we're going to, so this number right here, male percent, this is 4.4. I'm just going to put negative 4.4. No percent here. And here I'm going to put negative 4.6. And so it says 4.5. I'm going to put negative 4.5, etc., etc. So I'm going to copy all of those down. And then I'm going to do the same for the females, except I'm not going to put a negative sign. Remember, this is the 0. This is the x-axis. Oh, sorry, the y-axis. And so the females are going to be on this side, and it's going to be positive. And so 4.2, if you don't understand that yet, don't worry. It'll make sense once we start graphing it. 4.4, 4.3, and instead of having you guys watch me do the whole thing, I have that information here. So here it is, and to make a graph, we're going to highlight just these two columns, and we're going to insert a column, 2D bar, and so as you can see, this is not what the age structure diagrams look like that we've been using. We want to put our diagram not on these numbers because we're going to be referencing them in a little bit. So let's click on, we want to move this data down a little bit. So let's click anywhere. We're going to right click anywhere on the graph, and we're going to select data. And we're going to rename our males, and we're going to select the range of data for our males. When you do that, press enter, and we're going to press OK. Now do you see how that moved all of the blue lines down? Now let's do that again for females. We'll click on this, let's name this females, and let's select our data range, press enter, and we're going to select our horizontal category axis label. So what is going to be our y-axis? And on our y-axis, we want the ages. So you can see here, it inserted that information, the ages. We're going to click OK. Let's see what this has done to our graph. We have our ages on the y-axis, and it has pushed all of the data down. Now let's move this axis over to the side, and we want to click these three little lines here and go to labels, and we're going to go next to axis, we're going to go low. That's going to push our axis to the side, and now what we want to do is we're going to click on this little paint bucket, and we are going to, just kidding, we're going to click on our data series. So you can see we're going to format data series here. And we're going to click on these three lines, and we want series overlap at 100%, so you can see that's going to line these two lines up, males and females at the same. And then we want our gap width at 0. So if we were to add more gap width, there'd be gaps. But since we have gotten rid of our gaps, we want to put in some borders. So border, and let's make sure that those borders are black. Let's do the same for the males, solid line. Let's Let's make sure that that's black. And now we have a chart that looks like the ones that we've seen. Let's add a chart title. And I'm going to put age structure diagram Burma 2019. And we're going to go to add chart elements and axes titles, primary horizontal. And this is going to be percent of population. So you can see this will be 4% of the population. Now let's go to axes title, primary vertical. And that's over here. And these are our ages. So we're going to put age. And don't put enter. And now we are going to check out these numbers. These numbers look kind of bulky and don't necessarily fit what we're looking for. So let's click on them. That's going to bring us to right where we want to go. Now for Burma, the minimum bounds, well, they all fit under 6, but you might have bigger populations. So let's put -10, and this is going to give us a range here, and then we want +10, and we're going to put major units. This is going to be, you can see here that these are in units of 2. Let's make these in units of 1. And you can see that now we just have numbers everywhere. Let's get rid of all of those decimals by clicking on number. And we're going to have no decimals. And here we have the age structure diagram for Burma. So make your age structure diagram and then answer the questions and staple those together and hand them in. Let me know if you have any questions.